All right, what's up, guys? In my last video, I talked about my weight loss process and how I went about dropping just over 20 pounds in 18 weeks, and why I felt, why I needed to do what I did. I feeling much better. But what I wanted to talk to today about with you guys is when you're on the weight loss process and even bulking, there's a really good chance that you're going to hit a plateau at some point along your weight loss or bulk phase, right? Um, Most people should take a prolonged approach to either, neither one of these processes if you're really looking to get real meaningful results. This shouldn't be like an 8 or 10 week process. This should really be a 16, 18, 20 plus week process. Where you're going through a weight loss or a weight gain phase. And so along that line, at some point it's inevitable that you are probably going to hit a plateau. And why you're going to hit a plateau can happen for many reasons, as we discussed in the other video. But this video, we're going to talk about what to do when you hit a plateau. There are many triggers that we can pull here, but the big thing to keep in mind is you don't want to have to pull multiple triggers at the same time, because you're trying to do the minimal amount possible to get the scale moving again, right? If you can just do one little thing and the scale is going to start going in the way that you want, then we're on the right track. You don't want to have to do 2 or 3 things and then you're like, yep, scale's going in the right direction again, because when you hit another plateau, those triggers have already been pulled. You can try to pull them again, but it's not necessarily going to give you the same results in the end. And so it's important to try to just do the minimal amount that you can to get the scale moving, right? And so the first thing that we can do is kind of obvious. We can decrease our calories, whether we're taking it from carbs or fats or a little bit of both, by 5 to 15% of their caloric daily value. Typically, just a little bit of a reduction can kind of kickstart that process again, can get us back into that weight loss phase. And so this is just something that we can do. Something else that we can do is adding in or increasing cardio. So maybe you haven't really had to do a ton of cardio yet or any real meaningful, like prolonged cardio sessions during your fat loss phase or your weight loss phase. So maybe you added in 15 to 20 minutes, 1 or 2 times, maybe 3 times a week. And that'll definitely get the scale moving in the right direction again. But let's say you do already have a handful of cardio sessions planned out through your week. Simply add maybe 5 to 10 minutes for each session that you have planned already. Again, something minimal like this just helps burn a little bit more calories. We don't have to change anything with what we're eating, and this can kind of get, again, the scale going in the right direction. What else we can do is adding in more training volume. So maybe adding in a couple more sets, maybe adding in more reps, things like that. Just again, helping burn a little bit more calories, putting a little bit more stress on the body to get that process kick-started. And this will again help the scale hopefully get moving in the right direction. The last thing that we can do is increase the training density or the intensity at which we are performing things. So we're going to hit on density first. So basically that just means condensing your training. So maybe you usually take on average 70 minutes to complete your session. From now on, your sessions are getting completed in no more than 60 minutes. So you're getting the same amount of work in, but in a less amount of time. So this is what is known as increasing your training density. If you're going to increase the training intensity, this could be things like, probably not in this case, but could performing heavier compound movements. That's just going to recruit overall more muscle fibers than isolated movements will. But something else you can do is add in supersets or circuits, kind of like HIIT training. But again, if you are already training like this trigger may already be pulled, so you got to pull a different one. But like I said, what you can do is maybe usually you have, let's say you have 6 exercises that you perform on each training day. So say you train 4 days a week. Essentially what you could do, say you go about those 6 exercises and you usually just perform 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. But let's say now you're going to pair exercises 3 and 4 together, essentially just adding in a superset. So this increases the training intensity because instead of getting a rest break between each movement, you're now performing a back-to-back. Again, just adding in the demands of what you're asking of your body. This is going to force your body to expend more calories to keep up with the energy expenditure that you're asking of it. And this is really important because if you don't add in supersets, or say you have supersets, maybe you add in a tri-set, or maybe you add in just a whole circuit to where you're really pushing hard and you're really getting that heart rate elevated and you're out of breath. This isn't going to be some magic cure. This isn't going to magically help you lose that much more weight or that much more fat. But what it is going to do, like I said, is going to increase the training intensity, which is going to increase your body's calorie expenditure because you're asking it to expend more energy and more effort. So that is a big one in my eyes that really does help. But all of these are going to help in some capacity if they're implemented and the trigger is pulled at the right time. The plateau is going to be inevitable, so it's important that you keep these things in your back pocket for when those plateaus occur. But these are the things that you can do when you stall to help get that scale moving in the right direction again. But again, we're just looking to pull one minimal thing at a time so we can keep that weight loss train moving in the right direction. If you guys have any questions, shoot them down below. If you need any personal help, shoot me an email, reach out via Instagram, or again, just drop a comment down below and I can reach out to you as well. Thank you guys for all your support and thank you for watching. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe.